Alberto Segismundo Cruz, Do Cruz, Alberto Segismundo Cruz, 21 November 1918 October 1989, was a Filipino poet, short story writer, and novelist. 3 of his novels have been published by Ateneo de Manila Press. Soledad S. Reyes wrote, "The interconnectedness between the past and the present was a theme familiar to many Filipino writers who, in a variety of ways, argued the need to remember the past." Francisco Laksamana, Faustino Aguilar, Lazaro Francisco, Alberto Segismundo Cruz, Macario Pineda, and even Fausto Galauran, among others. Birthplace. He was born on November 21, 1901, in Tondo, Manila, Philippines, to Bartolome Cruz of Caingan, Barasoan, Malolos, Bulacan, and Heriberta Segismundo of Tondo, Manila. His father was the manager of a hat establishment in Binondo, Manila. He was married to Patrocinio Lopez Cruz of Tondo and Naic, Cavite, a hometown beauty queen, when they met. He wrote for Bulaklak, Liwayway, Silahis Tislak. He was Poet Laureate of the Republic of the Philippines in 1945 and won the Commonwealth Literary Awards in the 1940s and the Rizal Centennial Literary Awards in 1961. His contemporaries were Amado V. Hernandez, Fausto Galauran, Simon Mercado, Nemesio Caravana, and Liwayway Arcio, among others. He was one of the best 50 writers of the Philippines. Education. He began his early education at a kindergarten school ran by Maestra Inchang on Falgares St. Tondo and Colegio La Juventud ran by Prof. Perfecto del Rosario. He also went to the Tondo Primary School and the Mazik Elementary School. He finished high school at the Manila North High School, now Arellano High School, in Santa Cruz, Manila. He was in the same class 1922 as Lorenzo Sumilong, a Philippine senator. He went to the University of the Philippines and National University, where he obtained his AA degree. He finished his law studies at the Philippine Law School and became a member of the Philippine Bar in 1939. As a student, he was given these various honors: sobresalient, lecturer Castilla, Colegio La Juventud honor student, Tondo Primary School model student, Mazik Primary School distinguished student and declaimer, Tondo Intermediate School class poet, Manila North High School orator, Philippine Law School PLS senator, PLS. As a newsman and writer, he was a member of the pre-war TVT publication Taliba, La Vanguardia Tribune. He covered Malacanang, the Senate and Congress. He contributed countless articles, features, short stories to the newspapers and magazines of his time. He was one of the few who was a prolific writer in both English and Filipino. Literary honors. Holder of the Literary Award record in short story and poetry in the pre-war Taliba and Liwayway. Winner, Commonwealth Literary Contest 1940. Novelist of the Republic for his novel Muling Pagsalang 1942, judged by a juror headed by the illustrious senator and writer Claro M. Recto. Poet Laureate of the Republic 1947 with Simon Mercado. Winner, Book Essay, Rizal National Centennial Commission 1961 with Leopoldo Yabes. Winner, Poetry, Rizal National Centennial Commission 1961. 1975 Palanco Awards, Sino ang Bilag at Iba Pangchalao by Alberto S. Cruz. 1975 Palanco Awards. Public and Government Service. As a lawyer, he was associated with ATI, M.V. Roxas and F. Soc Rodrigo. He was a first-grade civil service eligible and writer-translator, an attorney under Republic Act No. 1080, and attorney claim investigator under the Judge Advocate General Office 1947. He was in the Press Relations Division and also the Legal Division of the Office of the President of the Commonwealth from February 10, 1939 till December 31, 1941. He was Corrector of Style and Professor in Filipino and Translation Technique at the National Assembly 1942. He was Inspector General of the National Land Settlement Administration from March 24, 1948 to December 31, 1949. From February 5, 1949 to December 31, 1950, he was an assistant at the Department of Foreign Affairs. He was appointed Justice of the Peace for Indang Inapecan late on August 16, 1951, but did not serve due to his commitments in the country's capital, Manila. He was special attorney and legislative researcher at the Philippine Senate from March 1, 1951, until he retired from government service in 1961. He is remembered first as a novelist, short story writer, and poet. His works graced the pages of the prime entertainment sources of his time, the newspapers and weekly magazines, such as Liwayway, Bulaklak, Sila His Kislap Graphic, and, then later, Tagumpay. His short story Rosa Malaya was featured in the high school textbook Diwang Ginto. He was included in the top 100 short story writers of his time in a book edited by Pedrito Reyes, 50 Quintong Ginto NG50, Batikang Quintista. His novels Ang Bungo, Lacanjula, and Halamayak had been published as college textbook by Ateneo University. As the first accredited vernacular newsman in Malacanang, he was the first newspaperman welcomed by President Manuel L. Quezon to write and translate his speeches, addresses, and pronouncements into the national language, making it possible to bring the message of the chief executive and make it better understood by the people. To be President de Estado Macapagal was in the same press relations office in Malacanang at that time. As lawyer of the Tondo Foreshore Residents Association, he was instrumental in the preparation of a bill that granted the right to thousands of poor bona fide occupants of the Tondo Foreshore area to purchase the lots they had occupied since liberation on an installment plan basis. He argued for them in the hearings until the bill became Republic Act 559, benefiting thousands of families in the Tondo Foreshore area. Inspired by the late Claro M. Recto and Jose P. Laurel, he initiated together with Jose Villapanganiban, who became director of the Institute of National Language, the project to translate into Filipino all acts and resolutions of the Congress of the Philippines in order that the people may understand better their rights and obligations as citizens. Final years. Alberto immigrated to the United States in the mid-1960s to be with his children and grandchildren. His last work was Sariling Parnaso, a collection of poems. He had 10 children, who all ended up living in the United States. He came back to the Philippines and spent the rest of his years at the house he and wife, Patrocinio, built in Project 8, Quezon City. He died in 1987 at the age of 86. His friend and contemporary national artist, Amado V. Hernandez, who also grew up in Tondo, had the highest respect for Alberto. Ca. Sakang Ijanagalang na Makata at Manunulat. Sa alang nobla ni Alberto Segismundo Cruz I makakita ang pagsasanib ng tradisyonal na tema ng protesta at ilang elemento ng modernismo. Bagamat karaniwang ipinalalagay na kasabay ni Fausto Galauran at Narcisco Asistio, higit na makatwarang ibalang si Cruz sa henerasyon, hindi mga manunulat na naging kilala matapos ang digmaan. Sa kanyang mga nobla ay ipinahayag ni Cruz, ang kanyang pagkabahala sa masasamang epekto ng pagpasak ng kanlaran o sibilisasyon sa Pilipinas. Sa halamay, Filipino poets and writers have been using the form of letters and their epistolaric qualities to render their literary works, the likes of Julian Cruz Baumesta, Jose Corazon de Jesus, Lope K. Santos, Inigo Edregado, Amado V. Hernandez, Emilio A. Bunag, Florentino T. Collins, Ildefonso Santos, Alejandro G. == References ==